everybody. Today, let's talk about salary negotiation. And my tip to you will be coming from the human resources perspective. I've been in corporate for so long, and I can give you those tips in a sense of what really to negotiate for, actually, how to negotiate, and then give the back office on the recruiting side in terms of salary. Okay. So let me start with an overview of how salaries actually happen to be the way they are. Okay. So a little bit of a dry information here, but just bear with me for a moment. So every company will have some I want to say some what's the word here, some policies around salary. Okay, some companies, I'm sorry, wants to be more competitive than others, so they offer more salary, more base salary, more benefits, more things that attract candidates to be more in a having more a competitive advantage to attract candidates, so their salaries perhaps they're higher. Some companies will put more emphasis on the benefit. So attracting more people that put more emphasis on the benefit and don't care much about base salary for say, because other things are important. Government jobs is something like that. Okay. So there are several things that it goes to a number when we put the salary range in the job post that you see as a candidate. So let's say a position pays from 100 to 150. Okay, it is in this middle. There is something on the compensation world as we call salary benchmarking or salary market data. Some positions with fresh from college, that you have experience fresh from college, you have 1 to 2 years of experience, would be paying from the 25th percentile of a range. Okay, actually the percentiles goes from 25 percentile to the 90th percentile, and it's broken between 25, 50, 75, and 90th percentile. This is how the salary compensation range normally run from the human resources perspective. Okay, so in order to put a salary in place, we need to put in one of those brackets. And of course, behind those things, there are some parameters. So a person that fits into the 25th percentile, very likely it is, of course, on the lower side of the range. So it will be a person from 0 to 2 years of experience, perhaps just graduated, has some experience, but sometimes not the degree, or vice versa. Some companies will pay you more if you have the degree, or pay you more if you can get the job done. It really depends on the company. So when you see the salary range in there, it means that the company will go maximum to that particular range. This is based on salary market data. Together with that, this is how the market is paying. However, inside the organization, every company has a different policy. So, and also we take into consideration some equity inside the company. So let's say you have several marketing managers or several finance managers, for example. Every single one brings a different experience, different degrees. They deliver the job in a different capacity. So throughout the years, those salaries may differ. One may have 80, the other one is 82, the other one is 90, according to the experience. So bringing someone from outside, we consider two things. First, how much the salary data is paying, how much the market is paying according to the industry, according to the function, according to the location, to the state. And I'm talking US based jobs. So those things are considered in order to make up a number. So internal equity and also how the market is paying. However, this number is not really set in stone. Actually, the human resources department is waiting for people to negotiate because this is they are expecting, right? They have a number to offer you, knowing that the number would be fair. However, if you bring a different expertise or an expertise that is very hard to find in the market, you are allowed to ask for more money for that. And we, as human resources professionals, we are waiting for you to negotiate. So the rule of thumb here is never accept the very first offer. We are waiting for you to negotiate. Sometimes very rare occasions we could not negotiate because there was zero margin per se. Okay. And let me give you an example. Sometimes the blue collar population, a perfect example, welders. The welders, they have one task to do, to weld, right? So there is no more experienced or less experienced person to do that particular task. So I'm giving a general example, okay? So there is a band within the hourly rate that makes everybody, regardless of the skill, to pay the same. For example, I am hiring a welder for $22 an hour. Okay. Until this person gets a different skill in that particular task that they are delivering, the person may not get any increase. Okay. On the other hand, if they acquire some more skills, so we can jump to the next part of the band is $24 an hour, then goes to $26 an hour as long as they accumulate some skills. So I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about vast majority of the salaried professionals. They're paid annually in a salary basis. The ones that are not entitled to overtime, for example, they are salaried people. So HR is waiting for you to negotiate. Of course, you're not going to say after the interview that, well, I deserve more, or I want more because the salary market data says more. I think you need to be equipped with some data in order to substantiate the number that you're going to put on the table. But the thing is, do not accept the very first one unless you are very, very happy with the salary that they're offering you. But keep in mind that there is always something behind the table for you to negotiate. Sometimes it's not necessarily in the base. Sometimes it is a bonus, it is a sign on bonus, it is, for example, more time for vacation, more flexible hours, more benefits. It really depends on what is important for you. Okay. But when going to the salary negotiation, actually, I would advise you to do your homework. And how you do your homework. Know how much your position with your experience, your degree, pays in the market. Some things to take into account here. The state that you are, some states pay more than the others because of cost of living. Okay, that's the reason there. Inflation plays a role. So consider state, consider the industry that you are, the years of experience in what you bring to the table. All of those points makes a difference on how the number is going to be made. So once you know how much the salary is for that market in that particular region with your experience, you have more data to negotiate your salary. Okay. And the way you go about this is you're going to receive the offer. You're not only going to analyze the base salary, but the total compensation, because the total compensation is base salary plus any other indirect money that we normally say in human resources. Because indirect money means how much of the benefits the employer is paying on your behalf. Okay, let me give you a tip. Normally is from 30 to 40% of indirect salary. Okay, if you were to pay your benefits or medical, vision, dental, life insurance, and vacation and other things that it's so vast right now, the number of perks that the company offers. If you put that on the paper, you can find that indirect salary on your pocket, it can be more than 40%. So when you bring that offer home, take that also into account. It's not only base salary. Okay. So in the total compensation, for you to have room to negotiate, if the base salary, for example, it's not the one that you worry about, the benefits are, try to go to that route to negotiate. I have to say this to you as an HR professional. Negotiating benefits, it is a little tricky because actually the benefits are group benefits. You cannot negotiate, for example, the provider of your medical insurance or your dental. You cannot negotiate more of a life insurance unless they have possibilities to do incrementals. And vast majority of the big companies, they have that possibility. But it's very hard because it is a contract that it's already signed as a group to the provider. Very unlikely you have room to negotiate those things. On the other hand, the base salary, you can always negotiate. Sometimes they have a specific band saying all the finance managers will run from this number to this number. However, you bring such a unique skill that you can deliver the job a little bit faster than the others. So, and you can prove that through your resume, your accomplishments, your interview. So they may consider that you are outside the range, you are above the 90th percentile, you are a very experienced person. So they may adjust the salary for you. Okay. That's a tip in terms of not accepting the first offer. Okay, keep that in mind. HR is always willing to negotiate. Actually, if the offer is on the table already and you are in this moment of negotiating, you know that the job is yours. They are really interested. And actually, going back to the drawing board to get another candidate after coming so far in the process, the offer letter is really the final step of a recruiting process. They're not going to go back to get the second candidate unless you're asking something completely, I want to say, stupid, or a number that is completely outside the norm. So do your homework, observe what the salary is paying, all the indirect money that the company is offering to you, consider bonus, performance bonuses, and see how it is achievable or not achievable, on how difficult or easy it is or challenging it is to achieve that goal. Okay. All those things to consider your number. I hope that helps you. I have several clients, several students that wants to do this whole play of conversations with the hiring manager. Normally, those negotiations are not with the recruiter, very unlikely. At this point, you are talking to the hiring manager because the hiring manager owns the budget of the department, so they know until what point they can go outside or not. And they are the ones that make the decision to change the number or not. This is not human resources at this point. It is not the recruiter at this point. It is the hiring manager. Okay, so I hope that helps. If you have any questions, please let me know. Put the comments below. I will answer as many questions as I can on the salary negotiation or any other that you have in the job search. Hope this helped, and thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon.